You're listening to the Daily Batuta News Wrap, live on Desert Rock FM.
Good afternoon, good evening, or good morning, wherever it is you're tuning in from. My name's Wendell Hussey, and you're listening to the Batuta Advocate's Daily News Bulletin. We're broadcasting out of the Budgie Smuggler bedroom, straight on to Desert Rock FM and all good podcast networks. A quick note, if you are keen on the audio updates from our humble Outback newspaper, we'll be transitioning off the main Batuta Advocate podcast feed and onto the Batuta Daily News Bulletin feed at the end of the week, so make sure you subscribe to that one. Onto the news, and we'll get right into it with a breaking story that's unfolding as we go to air. There's been a lot of chatter over the last few days about what's happening next, and we can exclusively reveal now that the Prime Minister's cleaner's mate's aunt's dog walker has confirmed that a full lockdown is imminent. Like dead set, he reckons. It's a big scoop, and we're working to verify the claims as we go to air, but the local bloke reckons it's not far off at all. He said to us, "Mate, I wouldn't lie to you. My source is close to the Prime Minister. He's a cleaner at Parliament House, and he overheard Scotty saying, we're going to go into lockdown soon as." Well, I know his auntie who lived in Batuta for ages when she was at uni, and she worked at the Federal Hotel in Freetown for 4 years. Anyway, I know her well, and her nephew wouldn't bullshit her. Legit, wouldn't bullshit her. As you just heard, it's some pretty big stuff breaking this afternoon, so we'll keep you updated on that one. Now, as the nation seeks guidance and clarity, Prime Minister Scott Morrison has been trying to give daily press conferences on what to do and, more importantly, what not to do. Those conferences have caused a little bit of a stir over the last few days, and after a bit of blowback, his lead speechwriter has admitted to us he doesn't know why he even fucking bothers anymore. The head of marketing speech guy said to us, I go to so much effort to try and make him sound articulate and intelligent and the leader of a nation, and he trips over the pronunciation of bar for 40 seconds. You think I put that in there? He then sighed heavily, pulled a golden gay time out of his freezer, and assured us he didn't mention a thing about trampoline venues when he was running Scotty from marketing through what to say on Sunday evening. It certainly is a tough gig, and one that's probably not going to get any easier in the coming months, but at least it's a gig that pays money and will put a roof over his family's head. Moving on to some news about our great state of Queensland, and the Cataboys have congratulated Premier Anastasia Palaszczuk for closing Queensland borders, even if it's 119 years too late. While plenty along the Tweed are furious at the decision to close the border from midnight tonight, up in the deep north, the news has been received well. The Katter Party's figurehead Bob came out today to congratulate and thank Palaszczuk and said it's only a century too late, but he's glad they finally put a stop to these wowser bastards from down south coming in. He of course said a whole number of other things on a number of different tangents which we don't have time to go into today. But the comments, given the party's rural Queensland-centric focus, hardly come as a surprise, as secession from the south is one of their major policies, alongside the loosening of gun control laws, the loosening of sitting on the tray of the ute while driving down the main street laws, the building of a guillotine for these aristocrats down in Canberra, and of course a push to transition to ethanol. So at least it's a positive outcome for someone. Wrapping up with some international news, and Comrade Dutton has kitted out his cell with some cool new posters today. Trapped on Christmas Island, ironically in a situation of his own making, the now radical lefty has spent the day whacking up a Che Guevara poster, an It's Time poster from Gough Whitlam's election campaign, a Midnight Oil album cover, and that iconic shot of Nicky Winmar. Struck down with the coronavirus, speaking to us via a contraband mobile phone while chopping up some contraband Chrissy Island bush bud he got from one of the locals, he said, "Right now, this fascist government is using coronavirus to pass authoritarian laws that will never be repealed. You can get detained for doing fuck all, even as citizens. Forget about the poor brown people who come to Australia fleeing war. We can get detained now in our own streets. That's why we've got to fight. It's fucked, man." Preach, brother. Keep up the good fight. And on that note, that is the end of our news wrap. If you're after more, head to our website. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back again tomorrow. Until then, stay safe, stay at home, wash your hands, and look after each other. Goodbye.